Welcome, Let's Talk Sport viewers on YouTube for our UEFA Champions League semi-final first leg preview between Liverpool and AS Roma. Of course, we couldn't be doing a Liverpool game without our resident Liverpool fan, Mr. Joe Stanley here. How you doing, Joe? I mean, Champions League final time, Champions League semi-final time. You'd be hoping for a Champions League final, but you know, it must be a bit worrying at least, maybe, as a Liverpool fan approaching this game.
Well, it's a mix of emotions between nervousness and excitement, to be honest. It's been a while since Liverpool have been in a Champions League semi-final. It's been 11 years since they've reached the Champions League final, so I'm hoping we get there to our first final since Athens. But we're a hard team, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, you've got plenty of history against Roma, of course, as well. 1984 seems to ring a bell in my mind, and I think it rings a bell in your mind as well as to why that might be an occasion. But Roma have won the last 3 games against Liverpool in all competitions, so it's not exactly a recent good history for them, but a longer history would lean more into Liverpool's favour, that's for certain. They've been drawing at half-time and winning at full-time in the last 3 matches against Liverpool in all competitions, but those were all friendlies, so it doesn't really count. So, you know, still good record intact when it comes to competition-wise. Last Champions League meeting between these two was, of course, all the way back in 2002 when we actually played 2 rounds of group stage games. The second round of group stage games when Liverpool played against Roma. 0-0 the first occasion and then 2-0 Anfield the second time around. For Liverpool's journey, though, it has been an eventful one, shall we say, in the Champions League, starting off all the way back in August and then bringing it all the way through now to defeating in the last stages of the competition Manchester City in the quarter-finals. A great victory there at Anfield, 3-0 and then followed it up with a solid victory at the Etihad as well. But a shaky draw at the weekend against 2-2 against West Bromwich Albion. I mean, it could be a bit of a worry with this defence moving forward against a better team, a better attacking team like Roma. How do you think this defence is going to handle the threat of Roma, the likes of Nainggolan and Edin Dzeko, of course, who's got a fantastic goal-scoring record against Liverpool, 3 goals in his last 11 games against Liverpool. How do you think Liverpool are going to handle him?
Well, it's going to be hard, isn't it? Edin Dzeko, he's a big player, tall player. I think Virgil can deal with him. If you stick Virgil van Dijk on him, he'll deal with him. The thing is, with the defence at the weekend, we had Ragnar Klavan and Alberto Moreno in. Neither of them really performed well. Some people will say that's a bit harsh for me, but personally, Ragnar Klavan had the opportunities with his passing to play long balls, and he was just playing it short every time. Moreno, he was poor in an attacking sense, and he was even worse in the defensive state. That's why we needed Andrew Robertson, but obviously we're resting him. I think if you put Lovren and Robertson back in there, they'll probably be a much stronger defensive unit. It's still going to be tough against Roma because obviously they've got the attacking players. They've got Daniele De Rossi in the midfield. They've got Nainggolan. They've got Dzeko. They're all key players. They're all players that can break Liverpool down. Nainggolan's got great passing ability. So it's going to be hard, but I think Liverpool, as long as they keep switched on like they did against City, they've got a good chance of keeping the score low down from Roma, like they did with City. Well, City didn't score, did they, in the first leg at Anfield?
No, they didn't, and it should be a good sign for Liverpool in terms of their defence at home. They should be able to keep them out at least, and you had a nice rotation of the squad at the weekend as well. Roberto Firmino, as you mentioned about Robertson as well, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Lovren, and Oxlade-Chamberlain were all rested. They didn't start in the game, and they eventually came on as substitutes. But looking at Roma's situation, defeating Barcelona in the quarterfinals stages of the competition, advancing through that stage there. They rested players at the weekend as well, like Kolarov and Florenzi and De Rossi and Dzeko, all rested at the weekend in their 3-0 victory against Spal 2013. But this is like unfamiliar territory for them, really, for this squad, because this is their first semi-final appearance in the Champions League since that 1983-84 season. So, Joe, you know, you like your omens and all that. Do you think this Liverpool side against this Roma side, is it going to be a repeat, really, of how that kind of that season played out for Liverpool, where, you know, they were able to get the better of Roma? I'm not going to say that they're going to, you know, go on and win the final yet, but do you think this Liverpool side's good enough to beat Roma, especially with how they performed against Barcelona in the last round in the quarter-final stages of the competition?
Yeah, obviously our attack is fantastic, so we've got a great opportunity. On our day, we can beat any side. But the problem is Roma at home, Barcelona do down by 3 goals, and then they come back and take the tie on the away goals rule. It's always the worry. My worry is going to the Stadio Olimpico. That's my worry. Not Anfield. I think we can cope at Anfield. We'll hold them out, and we need to get at them like we did at City. We need to just get some quick fire goals, stun the Romans, and just full on go for it like we did. Get all those goals, and in the second leg we can be calm, we can control the game, and just keep. I think Liverpool got a very good chance, but I wouldn't write Roma off because they're a quality side. Obviously, like you say, I'm a man of my omens. I like my omens, and obviously in previous spells in European competition, we beat Roma on the way to win the UEFA Cup in 2001. We beat them in the final at their own place in '84. Robillard with the wobbly legs. We've won our first European Cup in the city of Rome in '77. Then, obviously, like I said, '84 we won it then again. So obviously we've got history with Roma or Rome as the city. So let's hopefully that'll be a sign, and hopefully it'll be on our side. And I hope after the 2 legs we'll be flying off to Kiev.
You'll be hoping so, booking your tickets probably, maybe. Let's wait and see on that. Of course, Roma have lost their last 3 away games in the Champions League, and Liverpool have managed to keep a clean sheet in each of their last 4 Champions League home games, as you mentioned, Joe, earlier. So what do you think? How do you think the game's going to play out at Anfield on Tuesday? Do you think perhaps Liverpool will be able to keep a clean sheet and keep Roma at bay, or do you think it's going to be closer than that and then taking it into the second leg? What do you think the scoreline's going to be?
I think Roma are just going to try and do like a high block, if that makes any sense. They're going to just try and flood the midfield, trying to stop Liverpool, restrict them from playing their free passing football. They already have a plan for Salah. They know how to deal with him, which obviously wouldn't be surprising, seeing as he was one of their players last season. But I do think Liverpool have too much quality in an attacking sense. I think the front 3 are on their game with Salah, Mane, Firmino, and then you've got Ox in midfield that can join them. Liverpool's attack, well, Roma got an ageing defence, haven't they? Let's be honest. If Manolis is out, because there's rumours of that, then that's a big blow for Roma, and I think will be too much. If he's in, then it could be a different story. But I do think Liverpool have too much in the attacking sense. My one worry is if we keep our defence switched on. Edin Dzeko is a big goal threat down the other end, so I could see Roma getting a goal, but I think Liverpool get more, if that makes any sense. So
what's your scoreline prediction going to be? What are you thinking?
3-1 to Liverpool.
3-1. Okay. I'm going to go for 2-1. I think it's going to be a little bit of a closer game. I think because of that experience with Salah last season, of course he spent that last season with Roma, I think they'll know how to control him, especially with their defence. You mentioned it's aging, but with age comes wisdom, and playing with Salah last season will certainly help them out into terms of how to combat against him. So looking at other Liverpool players to really step up to the plate, people like Firmino and Mane to really step up to the plate in this game and see what they can do for Liverpool Football Club. And I think Roma will be a threat, as you said, on the long balls into the box, hitting that target man, Edin Dzeko. I think he could probably get a goal in this game and take 1 goal back to the Stadio Olimpico in Roma. So it's going to be an interesting affair. Let us know what your scoreline predictions for Liverpool versus Roma on Tuesday night is going to be in the comments section below. Make sure you like and subscribe for more Let's Talk Sport content.